Hey everyone, the 1st of July, and you know what that means, wrap up time. So, in June I uploaded one tag only, the How to Be a Good Human tag. I uploaded another Thoughts Before Coffee where I told you that I have problems getting up and just waste my time in the morning, and I'm glad you do the same. And I also showed you the chaos that I have at the moment. Well, I have less chaos than I had in that video. And we talked about how the chaos outside influences our chaos inside. And a lot of you are a lot more organized than I am. And good for you, but now I feel a little bit bad. But I wasn't alone at being disorganized, so we're all in the same boat here, I guess. Apart from that, we talked about book covers and how they influence our perception of the book, and also about shopping in bookstores or online. And this is very interesting because it kind of affected each other, those two videos. In the first video where we talked about book covers, I wanted to know if you think that a bad cover influences your experience of the book. And a lot of you said the cover doesn't have an influence on the text, but it really influences your buying choice. So when we talked about bookstores and I showed you the horrible cover of the Diogenes book, which I really don't like, it's just the way the books are made really doesn't make me want to read them. And I'm happy that it doesn't really affect my reading pleasure of that book. But generally, the book really doesn't work for me. But I loved hearing that a lot of you really enjoy going to bookstores and browsing around and getting the feel of the books. So thank you for all those discussions. It was a good month for that. Reading wise, I finished quite a lot this month. First, I finished Hit or Miss by Robert Asprin, which is another in the Misconception series. And I totally forgot what this one is about, but it was fun. Then I read The Lone Ranger and Tonto Fistfight in Heaven by Sherman Alexie. This is a short story collection, and he tells a lot of stories of this one reservation, and it jumps in time. Sometimes the characters are the same, sometimes they are not. They reappear, and I really liked reading this. You really get a feel for the stories and for the lives of these people, and you really start to understand how their life looks, at least from how they are portrayed in the stories. And I really like Sherman Alexie's writing style. It's like he's talking to you, he's telling you the story, and he includes you in the story sometimes. And I really like that. So this is really good. If you have not read any Sherman Alexie, you could start here. Then I picked up a big book again, finally. A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius by Dave Eggers. And this is supposedly his memoir, or part of his life when he lost his parents and started to raise his little brother, or live with his little brother and be his guardian. And I do like a lot about how this book is written and how it deals with this narration process and the storytelling process. What I don't really like is the Dave Eggers in this book. He portrays himself as really not a nice person. And I don't know if he's doing that on purpose to really not look as stupid as his actions were, or if he just really is such an idiot, or was such an idiot at the time this book talks about, which he addresses as well. I have a full video up of this where I talk more coherently about this. The last physical book I finished was a novella, Bonsai, by Alejandro Zambra, and I really loved this. It's a very short novella about love and loss, about the relationship, or the love of two characters and how their relationship is. What I really liked was not only the story, but also how it was told. Like I said, it's a novella, it's very short, and it's very well written. You just feel like a friend is telling you about two people he knows and their story. And I love this. I can only recommend this book to anyone. On audio, I only finished As You Wish this month by Carrie Elvis, and it's the story he tells us about the making of The Princess Bride. So I reviewed the book in a way of telling you my Princess Bride experience, and I loved hearing yours. So thank you for sharing that with me. Tell me in comments what you read this month, how your June was. I'm quite happy with June.